Step into the ring, the bell's about to chime. Turnbuckle Talk, we're here to shine. Flagship on the airwaves, leading the pack. Breaking news, reviews, we've got your back. From the squared circle to the backstage news, we bring stories that you can't refuse. Turnbuckle Talk, the voice of the fight. Every slam, every suplex, every highlight. Tune in weekly, don't miss a beat. For the latest in wrestling, we bring the heat. From AEW to WWE, we cover it all from A to Z. Interviews, insights, and match reviews. If it's wrestling news, we got the clues. From the squared circle to the backstage news, we bring the stories that you can't refuse. Turnbuckle Talk, the voice of the fight. Every slam, every suplex, every highlight. Tune in weekly, don't miss a beat. For the latest in wrestling, we bring the heat.
What is good, everybody? It is time for Turnbuckle Talk. I am Carl Carafel. I'm joined alongside Chris Best and OM Dynamic. And we have a very special guest here with us tonight, a man who has been around the block, per se, a few times when it comes to the world of professional wrestling, the world of journalism, and the world of podcasting. Look up different things like the Hameen Media Group, and you will find this face listed right there. The man who knows his food. We are talking about Richard Bronson Vickrey, or as many people know him, RBV. It is so good to have you here with us today. So thankful that you reached out and wanted to become a little part of the program here with us. Love you, brother. Thank you for coming on.
Gentlemen, Carl, especially you there. Thank you. A very honored, privileged opportunity for me. I was just thinking about this as we were sitting there in the studio getting ready to go live. But I think the first time you and I did this together, I mean, it's about 8 years ago. And it's back when it was just Turnbuckle Talk. And now you guys have grown. It's Turnbuckle Studios. You got all these different productions, these platforms that you're reaching. And it is amazing content across the board. You put together one heck of a team. And again, an honor, a privilege to be here with you, gentlemen. But real quick little introduction about myself. Yes, representing the Hameen Media Group. We're celebrating 8 years of rocking and rolling in the podcast game. Some amazing pros there. Very loud, a little outspoken, but we have a lot of fun over there. So encourage everybody to check that out. About myself, lifelong career in live events, media, marketing, 10 years in professional wrestling as a talent, as a promoter as well. And now I am a professional announcer. Kind of lend my voice to Edgewater Sports Park. We are a NHRA drag racing affiliate track here out of Cincinnati. Also call a little football and all like that again. But hey, this is what's about. This is what we all love, coming together to talk a little wrestling. Let's get at it, gentlemen.
Yes, it's actually a privilege to have you here, RBV. I've heard a lot about you. Never had the pleasure to actually meet you, so I'm really intrigued to see how we all flow off of each other here tonight and see what this takes us.
I think it's going to be a great time. Like I said, I told you guys, regulars, I'm scrolling through, boom, I see what you guys got going on, the different shows. If it's some of the gaming, the reviews, you're talking the news, the headlines, if it's the mothership here at Turnbuckle Talk, I love tuning in. I love getting involved in the conversation in the chat. Hopefully we'll get some comments out there to help flow with the great topics we got here. Yeah, Mr. Best, OMD, pleasure to be with you too as well.
You spoke to my heart when you said Cincinnati and football.
We got a Who Dey fan in the house then.
Oh yeah. Who Dey.
Hey, well, all we got to do, we'll give it a little Who Dey. We just got to believe right now. We got a lot of things there. Should Joey be back in the game? Number 9, Burrow. Epic players create epic environments. They lift the entire franchise to new levels. And that's what we saw this past Thursday, Thanksgiving night, in that great return game from him. But really, those turducky legs or whatever, the duck, turkey, whatever the fusion thing that they call it, those things should have went to the defense. Where the hell have those guys been all year? They absolutely brought it, and we're going to need it.
Yeah.
The only chance is to win that conference. We got to win out, and we need a lot of stuff to fall in our favor. But hey,
we do.
Well, you know what? I mean, we got a bit of a rivalry game coming up here in just a couple of weeks because I am a Miami fan.
Oh, and you're one of those games right now on the schedule that I already got checked off as a win. But you guys been getting some big wins here.
We have.
Going up there and smacking the Buffalo Bills a couple of weeks ago has kind of rejuvenated the Finns down there. They got a little belief, might have saved some jobs, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talking about some slaps in the face, we got one earlier today. I guess yesterday, even a little bit. We got slapped with some news from TNA, and this here is probably some of the biggest news for Total Nonstop Action, for TNA, as Thursday nights Impact is going to be on AMC. This was put out by AMC and the AMC networks, announcing the TNA's flagship weekly TV program will be going Thursday nights Impact with AMC in a multi-year media deal. For me, I absolutely love this. This has been something that I have been waiting for since Spike days, let's say. Spike was a big network. They were great. They hosted, TNA. They had great things for TNA. Now I think we're going to see even bigger and better things for TNA coming with AMC. We talked about this last week. No, the week before, I believe. Yep, the week before we talked about it. And some of the big shows that were on AMC before, and probably one of the biggest notable ones is The Walking Dead. So for pro wrestling to be included and involved with a network that has probably one of the biggest television programs in history, next to MASH, okay, because MASH was, MASH is everything. The Golden Girls. Okay, but I digress. Guys, this is huge. January 15th is when all of this is starting. So it is like very, very soon. How are you guys feeling about this? Let's start at the bottom.
Oh, for me, immediately seeing this and knowing, I've had an opportunity a couple of years ago to work with then Impact Wrestling, obviously rebranded to TNA. I got to work with them locally here, promoting event, and I was out there hustling it with them. I got to work on that front line with Ross, their promotion manager. Moose was in with us. Deanna was in with us at the time. I got them set up on our Fox local morning show. I got them set up with our local ESPN affiliate. So it was really cool. And to see their passion, their drive, even then, and knowing all this time how good this product is, the great talents that are there. It was kind of like that hidden forgotten gem inside of professional wrestling. As you said, Carl, biggest deal in arguably the company's history. So all those naysayers that were complaining about the booking, oh, the NXT people are buried. Hey, this is what that payoff was about. This is what that partnership is about. A lot of people thought that partnership was going to dissolve. They've already said, hey, they're looking forward. The president of TNA's already said, we're looking forward to continue that going forward. Is obviously this is one of those payoffs from working with TKO, WWE. This is 60 million homes, paid subscriptions that they have the opportunity to reach now, to grow their brand, their audience. As you did mention, Carl, AMC, familiar with shows like The Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. My question is, with that money that they're going to be getting from this deal, are they going to be reinvesting it in their production to look more like those shows where AMC is that grittier, raw feel? And I would gladly welcome that kind of presentation inside in professional wrestling. They'll look a little different than everyone trying to be so crisp 4K like WWE.
I think to go along with that quickly before you go, OM Dynamic, Lucha Underground did that, and I absolutely loved it. It was so successful. Unfortunately, there was a lot of money that was thrown into that, and they kind of didn't have enough money to continue on, which absolutely sucked. But if they could get to that style of a television program for us, These 2 hours won't even feel like 2 hours when we're watching it. It'll feel like we're just sitting down to watch the next episode of another television show. OM.
I absolutely love this deal. Like you said, this was something we touched on a couple of weeks ago where AMC was the front runners. We heard those refuted reports that the partnership was going to dissolve, a 60-day termination clause in that partnership, immediately refuted by both AMC and Carlos Silva. And this, they were looking for a multi-year deal in the $7 to $10 million range. They are getting 30 million.
Mm-hmm.
So you are looking at 3 to 4 times the amount they were looking for in this TV deal. I would love to see that go into a little bit more in the production. And I would like to see a little more, like you said, a little bit more of a gritty type of feel to it. I don't want it to go to the old ECW style, but make it their own.
Okay.
TNA have the talent, and I've always looked at TNA as that number 2 promotion. There were times, Carl, you and I have talked about it, where I held them above WWE in terms of their production, in terms of their talent.
Yes. Yep.
So,
Definitely, for sure. Mr. Best.
Yeah, this is just one of those deals that when we reported on it 2 weeks ago, we had a list of like 5 different networks that were listed in the articles that we looked at through this.
Yep.
And we all agreed at that point that AMC should be the company that takes it because of AMC and their gritty productions for all of their shows. Because let's face it, it's not just The Walking Dead that was the top program. They also had Breaking Bad. They, for the last, I would say, 20 years, have been the dominant network on TV with all of their programming. So, yeah, I too want to see a little bit more of a grit towards Impact. I do like the clean look that they have now, but it kind of it looks weird when you see a backstage segment, because the backstage segments have a bit of a grit to them that I see.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that we did not touch on so far, and yes, the WWE and TNA partnership still continues, but WWE helped TNA champion this get this deal out there, as was reported by TNA this afternoon when it was announced.
yes. Another big thing in a part of this is that the head of AMC is James Dolan, who is also the executive chairman and CEO at Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
And Madison Square Garden Entertainment. So this is absolutely huge. And I think that this is going to, I don't know if you would create the theater at Madison Square Garden as the new Impact Zone.
I don't know. I love the idea of there being an Impact Zone, like there being a physical Impact Zone. Joe, good to see you, brother. Thank you for coming in. I want to acknowledge you that you are here, leaving us a chat. Feel free to jump in on this chat as well. AMC is going to be the new home of TNA Impact. I don't necessarily know that I want to have one specific spot. I think the term Impact Zone has really just become a blanket term for TNA, as wherever they are, that is the Impact Zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's what I'd rather it be, is just the Impact Zone moved here.
As we talk about those big growths, those moments that are going to help define this company as they continue to grow forward, I think that is incredible. You look at, all right, so we've got the head of MSG Entertainment, we got the top cat there at TNA. You look at all the big names at TKO, if it's Khan, if it's Shapiro, even Ari above that. I mean, these are the top agents, the top players in the entertainment world, all coming together to network these things. I just think it would be blockbuster. I still want TNA to be out on that road, traveling around, growing that audience. But how big would it be, though, from the theater right there or maybe even the Garden itself to host Slammiversary or Bound for Glory. That would be a big time event for them.
Already take my money on that.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see TNA get to that 10,000 plus crowd. You don't have to hit the 15 to 20,000 like we're seeing with WWE or AEW, but you just that slow expansion and you grow from 7,000 to a 10,000 crowd.
I think, OD, when you said that they have almost, tripled 4 times what they were looking for here, now it makes a lot more sense why Chris Jericho is kissing their butt. He wants some of that payday.
Yep.
Yeah. As much as I love Jericho, I would have to agree.
A worker's gonna work.
Yep. Always.
Yep.
Always. That's just the way it is. Super happy, super thankful for TNA and what they are doing, and AMC picking them up on their network. That is absolutely wild. Very happy about that. And I cannot wait to see what happens and where TNA is going to go from here.
Well, one quick one more on this is, we talk about talents. All of us have worked with indie promotions. Even what does this mean for the talents that are signed with TNA to up their rates when they go to work different conventions or things like that because of this exposure? Again, going from whatever they're at now, but to, the 60 mil in the paid subscription there. Mm-hmm. It's a win all around for everybody involved with the promotion.
I agree. 1,000% it is. As it should be.
Yeah, and I got to wonder what they say with AMC, because we've seen where WWE's networks have jumped in and said, we want this wrestler. Can you try and get him? Blah, blah, blah. I wonder if AMC is going to try and pull some strings on that situation as well.
I don't know. I mean, in due time.
Yeah,
I would say. Yeah. I don't think that that's something that necessarily needs to be done immediately, but in due time, for sure.
Yeah, because I'm thinking more about that partnership with the WWE, and if AMC is like, hey, we want Javon Evans to come and do a show, I'm sure at that point they can actually work out a deal to get Javon Evans to go over and do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, just because TNA is, going to the AMC network doesn't mean that this collaboration that they have with the WWE is and with NXT is going to end at all. I think if anything, this is going to help further that collaboration into probably more of a partnership between the two instead of just hey, let's use a couple of your guys, you use a couple of ours. I think it'll turn into probably a full-fledged partnership.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I don't know how things are for you, RBV. I know here every couple of weeks after one of the Friday night specials that they do on TNA Plus, we get them broadcast here on Sportsnet on our TV broadcaster for TNA. I would wondering, would it be a good idea for TNA to maybe get their PLEs over to Netflix under the WWE banner as a part of this?
That's another good question there, because where are they going to go with their PLE, pay-per-view there? Because you do have the AMC Plus, which could be an option, which is going to air the Thursday night wrestling show for them. But yeah, if they could piggyback onto one of, which I would think, if you're looking at somebody that would be jumping at the bit, that's going a la carte, trying to add content for their new streaming service, here in the States, would be ESPN. Because they're just trying to throw as much sports from around the globe out there to justify that $30 there, where they don't have exclusive NFL here, exclusive NBA. They do have the WNBA exclusive, which is growing a little bit there. They have certain college football as well. They have the college football playoff, but it is just a bunch of a la carte. So if you already got this partnership with TNA, with WWE, why not maybe try to bring them under the umbrella? I think that's probably, there's guys that are on a lot higher pay grade than us right here that are probably having these very same discussions right now.
Oh, yeah.
which then makes me wonder why we're not getting paid that kind of money for having these discussions here right now.
Yeah, I'll take some of that 30 mil.
I would too. 5 of it. That's all I ask. Just 5 of it. Split the rest between them amongst yourselves. That's it. Oh, goodness. Paydays. Let's talk about paydays for a minute here. Big payday. Well, honestly, I don't know how much of a payday it actually was, but Wrestlecade just came and went. And we had a matchup that happened at Wrestlecade. Now, people are going to get paid when they're working, as everybody does. I wonder how much it took for Jushin Thunder Liger to come out of retirement to take on Joey Janela in a 2.5-minute matchup, maybe. What?
And I'm saying the same thing, Carl, because Jushin Liger was the reason I started watching Japanese wrestling. I'm just shocked and I'm happy. And I saw that he was working Joey Janela, and Joey Janela is a fine worker. I was kind of hoping that it was a better match, or that it would be a better match than the one Jushin Liger had against Tyler Breeze many years ago, because that match against Tyler Breeze was just off the wall.
Yeah.
Good. But no, what a nostalgic throwback, especially for me with this with Liger coming in. Even if it was 2.5 minutes, I was happy just to see it.
For something like this is something where you would think it's okay, get a special guest, get him to come out, run out, cause the distraction, and leave.
Okay.
Rather than give a worker with the reputation and the career of a Jushin Liger a 2.5-minute match. This would have been better off as just a special attraction, maybe have him come out, promote a match, present a title, something a little bit more than wasting 2.5 minutes of his time and the people's time.
Well, I don't know if you necessarily call this a waste of time. I'm going to make a comparison to this to one of my good friends, my mentor, who just did an amazing spot this past weekend. Ben Hameen, working for 2CW, had their reunion show, and he's kind of Ben's kind of their go-to work with the legends guy, because, again, they're not going to roll out. He's worked with the likes of Sergeant Slaughter, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Rowdy Piper, those types that are coming out, get those big pops, but they're short and sweet. And you just want to deliver it for that big pop for that audience. That's what you get here. I agree with you, though. Why necessarily even make this a match? We don't need that there. Have them come out, just do an interaction, let Liger hit a big move, hit a big spot, and you get that big pop from the crowd. So like last week, Ben was working with the Godfather. And so Godfather comes out, and lo and behold, pull the curtain back here a little bit, the ladies that they had hired to work as the hose no-showed. So in Ben's typical thing, he cancels it. So no, there is going to be no hose for anybody. So that's getting the heat on him. So Godfather just comes in, beats him up a little bit, hits him with the big boot, hits him with the hoe train, and everybody's happy. So in a 5-minute segment, those two out of 9 segments got maybe the biggest reaction. And I'm sure here at Wrestlecade that these two got an amazing reaction. And what a great treat for those individuals there. And it's not that, you need Liger to go out there and work through a 15-minute hit all the greatest hits and all that. It's about that pop. You don't break the retirement that he said he went into with having an official match here. Hey, my biggest thing here, what do we preach to our kids? Work hard. Thrive to be the best that you can in your profession. Be the best individual that you can. And looking at Joey Janela, he throws all that out the window. You'd be terrible at what you do. It's come off to everybody as a terrible human being, and you end up in all these great spots. He has a moment here with Liger. He did the thing with Sabu before his passing. He gets to hook up with Penelope Ford and Megan Bain. This is the reward he gets for being a piece of crap human being. That's what I get out of this story.
Oh, geez. So true. So true. I mean, he takes that heel life and lives it to the fullest. Let's say that. My biggest thing with this is Jushin Thunder Liger retired. Is this going to be a new trend that we're starting to see where wrestlers are going to go into retirement? And I know we've kind of seen this a little bit over the last little while. Is this going to just be the
saying,
trend?
Carl? What's the old saying? You never retire in professional wrestling.
It's true.
And
It's
that's what I was going to say. There's no such thing as retirement in pro wrestling.
I mean, look at a decade ago, Carl, when you and I got to go see Demolition versus the Powers of Pain in the main event of an independent show.
And you guys loved it, didn't you?
We did. We did. Yeah. UCW. Yeah.
I mean, Carl, you and I do the commentary for the CWE shows. How bad do we mark out when we've got these legendary wrestlers coming to the ring to do their thing? I mean, the first show I did with you was Jacques Rougeau on the card, and he wasn't wrestling, but he did his spots. But you and I, we marked hard on that one.
Oh, of course, right? Because at the end of the day, you know, and not just a former professional wrestler, not just a wrestling commentator, but I'm a fan as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when somebody goes through and like Jushin Thunder Liger's retirement is still fresh in mind.
Yes.
Right. I think that's the biggest thing for me is that it's still fresh in mind. Parish guilty as charged. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to see you, brother. Love you. Thank you for coming by. If you just retired, you're supposed to take that time. You're supposed to live the rest of your time in that beautiful serenity and bliss of retirement. I do understand that sometimes that itch comes back and you want to get back into that ring, but you need to give it a little bit of time before, I think. This is just too fresh for me, and I think that's where I'm drawing the biggest problem from with it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at a guy like The Undertaker who now comes out, does his appearances, hits his spots, but he wanted to do more after he announced his retirement, but then got his closure when he chokeslammed The Rock at WrestleMania. Now he's happy to just come out, do the spots. He's got his closure. He's not coming to get back in the ring.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm okay with guys doing that. I'm okay. If you've got a spot to come out and do, beautiful. Love it. I'm still going to pop for you the same way. I don't want you, if you're in retirement, you're retired for a reason, and I don't want that you're getting back in there to do something that's going to hurt you, harm you, or kill you. And this way, if you're just going out and doing a very simple planned spot, you're good. If you're going out there to do a 2.5 to 5 minute match, yeah, just like anything, things can happen, but things are more apt to happen in more time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. There's lots of time that we have during the week, and during the week, we have a lot of shows that happen here as well with Turnbuckle Studios. Let's take a minute and let you all know what we have going on throughout the entire week.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thursday we go TNA when we brace for Impact at 7:55 p.m. Eastern. Friday we secure all details as we answer the call for the SmackDown security detail at 8 p.m. Eastern. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Sundays be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Eastern. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
And we are so thankful to each and every one of you that come by each and every day of the week, taking a look at the programs that we have got here. Remember, if you like what you see, share it out, tell your friends, hit the like, subscribe, the follow, whatever there is for you to do. Make sure you're doing that so that you can be informed as to when we go live every day of the week.
Always pop for that Raw Patrol. That's the best name in wrestling podcast. I always pop
Right?
for that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's from Chris Parrish. He kind of came up with that whole idea. Great team member that we have here, one of the OGs with us here at Turnbuckle Studios. He was able to create the beautiful logo that we have for the Raw Patrol, and from the Raw Patrol, we got the SmackDown security detail out of it, and like it's flourished. Everything has flourished, and it's only flourished because of all of you and the support that you continue to give us. I do want to give a quick fair warning. If you're watching on TikTok right now, we will probably have this in 2 parts for you. We're already half an hour in, and we still have a few topics to talk about, so we're not going to be able to fit this entire show into the 1 hour time frame. I can guarantee that right now. Just a fair warning. Be sure to check for part 2. We're going to go and move to a couple of maybe quicker stories. One of them being a very feel-good story that I am thankful that we can talk about right now. If you guys don't know, there are stressors that happen in life, and the body itself can shut down from those. And one of the things that happen from that is a stroke. And we have a professional wrestler who has suffered a stroke. Now, I said a feel good, and it's because he is back. The man we're talking about is Jonathan Gresham. Guys, this news story, I think, Mr. Best, you had brought this one to us here. So take the lead on that for me.
Yeah, it broke as I was getting ready for the show here, essentially. But Jonathan Gresham revealed that he back in August suffered 2 strokes, and 2 is very hard to come back from what I understand. But he's due to come back February 1st. He has been signed to compete at GCW and JCW Superpower Slam on February 1st. This is his first announced match since the strokes. It is unknown if he will compete prior to the event, but no opponent has been announced. And just hearing that after knowing what this man has been through brought a tear to my eye to know that he's coming back. Because this is, I use this term all the time for wrestlers, but whenever a wrestler goes down with an injury, and you've seen it when you watch us on the Raw Patrol, there's that moment of concern and that moment of silence that happens. But now we are in that moment of celebration with Jonathan Gresham and his return, and I'm looking forward to finding a way to watch this show.
Yeah. When he suffered these strokes back in the summer, his wife, Jordan Grace, had actually found him. And after going to the hospital and getting tested.
No, I need to correct you. We don't want to give false information. She did not find him.
Oh, okay.
He woke up and had no feeling on his left side. He was unable to move his left side. He finally managed to call 911. Jordan Grace was in Orlando at the time and saw the paramedics working on him on their door camera, their ring camera, whichever it is. It's a door camera anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And then she immediately flew back to meet him at the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she came out and she said he was ready to go. He wanted to get back into the ring right away.
As most do.
And she told him, no, you can't. You have to recover, take the time, get your health back up. So it's great to see Jonathan Gresham coming back. I would love to see the Octopus back in a TNA ring, working in that partnership. We know his extensive history with Ring of Honor, with TNA, and with a lot of the other independent promotions. He's never really gone out for any of the big two, so to speak. So I
Right.
would love to see that for him, but let's get him back up to speed first, back into action. Give it 6 to 8 months before we do that.
I think a little bit for Gresham, really, we talk about the rub with the bigger platforms. Really, last time that we had seen him is, he was probably a little sour when he was kind of neglected by AEW and their purchase of Ring of Honor. And, saying, maybe with his size, his ability, whatever that case might have been, that he wasn't going to be the one that they chose to continue the brand once they purchased it. And I think he kind of resented that. And it was, a chip on his shoulder. And then to see something is just as traumatic, is devastating to go through the stroke here and to think that you're never going to have an opportunity to prove those naysayers again, to get out there, do what you love. Pursue your passion. And that thought in his mind that I've got to get back to that was probably a driving force towards recovery here, and why he is so eager to get back out there and do that. First and foremost, yes, listen to the doctors, listen to the medical professionals, take their advice. Do not push yourself to make sure that you are permanently sidelined. But I got to tell you, as a promoter on any level, and you would mainly want to grab this at the top if you could, a TNA would be something great for this. Maybe they do have an opportunity back in Ring of Honor and AEW for something like this. What a great, as a society, Western society, Canada, America, anywhere in Europe, we love that great comeback story. Someone that's fallen down to that bottom, and to see a hero's journey like this back to the top of that mountain. And boys, this lays it out, the blueprint right for you. This Pro Wrestling 101. You want an emotional connection. It's going to bring a tear to your eye. The ultimate underdog, little Mikey, going back up that mountain, hoping to claim a little bit of glory, championship gold that he once was so close to, that opportunity to shine on those biggest stages. This writes itself for you.
1000% it does. He can use this anywhere that he goes. It doesn't matter where. This could be used as, again, that feel good story, just to be able to say survived, or as Mr. Parrish says, after 2 strokes he kicked out, and he is back and better than ever. Hopefully this is what we're going to see come February, and we haven't seen him since August, so I think between August and February, that's enough time. OM, you were talking about, the 6-month type of thing. That pretty much gives 6 months for him. I think it's fantastic. I'm just super happy. Like, I love these stories when we're able to get them. These little feel good stories that really boost us up just as much as it boosts them up, for us to be able to say it is a good day because Jonathan Gresham is still here, and because Jonathan Gresham will grace our television screens once again.
It'd be great in a trainer's role.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. If anybody could, 1000% Jonathan Gresham. Yeah.
A little easier, with the travel and all that, not really taking, the big bumps. Certainly he wants to get out there and perform in front of that audience, be under those spotlights, go chase that. But long term, especially with help, things like that, take that paycheck, sit back, maybe get a nice job there at the Performance Center, something like that. I see him perfectly fitting into a position like that.
Yeah,
I do too. No matter what happens, I know that we're going to be seeing Jonathan Gresham again. The Octopus will live, and we will be able to embrace what he can bring to us. Because if you have not seen anything from Jonathan Gresham, YouTube, dude, it is your easiest way to find something from Jonathan Gresham. He is a workhorse. He is amazing in the ring at what he does. You need to check him out and see what he has done, to know what he is going to do. We talk about what's going to happen. Well, this is another news that came to us within the last day, and that is from AEW. Yeah, we talk about everything here, people, even AEW. A lot of people are not very, happy with AEW, and they're very sour on it, but we're going to talk about them anyways, because AEW Revolution is making its way back to the Crypto.com arena on March 15th in Los Angeles. This is huge for AEW. They have had success, in quotations, let's put, at this arena and with their pay-per-view Revolution. Happy for them. Very happy for them for getting the opportunity to go back again, and hoping that we can fill more of the seats in that arena for them. Professional wrestling is professional wrestling is professional wrestling, people. No matter what company it is, yeah, you may not kind of like some of the antics that are happening with a company or kind of the storylines that are happening with a company, but you could change the channel and go check out a different one. But if you are enjoying what you see with AEW, this is fantastic. I love professional wrestling, even if it is a little bit of, crap show sometimes with AEW. I still enjoy the product because I still know people there, and I have friends that are there, and I'm there to support them in whatever way I can. How are you guys feeling? We'll start at the bottom about Revolution.
When I saw this on the run, Carl, I was thinking, okay, it's a nice show announcement. But then my mind goes into, the shoot job, marketing mode. And I think when you look at this, you look at the event, what this means, one of the staples of AEW, Revolution, what it represents. Yeah. You look at the location, Los Angeles, what an arena this is, state of the art. How they use the modern technology, the presentation, the look of this thing. The location of Los Angeles, what you've got a built-in large metropolis to draw from, a great wrestling base, a diverse wrestling base. You've got the Western types of fans there of sports entertainment. You've got a large Hispanic population there to use to tie in with your CMML partnership. Even there on the West Coast, they are very in tune with like the Japanese society. They regularly, Japanese come over in vacation Hawaii and California. So you've got that New Japan tie. You can use those partnerships there. But one of the things that really jumps out to me in my marketing mind is the timing of this. Sunday, March 15th creates a perfect storm. Where does that put that? Because in the competition, TKO WWE, it's Riyadh season, baby. They're going to be over in the desert for the Rumble. Yeah. They're going to be coming back for WrestleMania. Oh, the WrestleMania in Vegas where they said, no, New Orleans, we're pulling the rug out from you because you're not paying enough. So between the Saudis, the Vegas, where WWE has sold out, overpaying, we have to overpay for everything. This is the perfect storm for AEW to step in and say, you know what, this isn't just Revolution. This is our revolution for the wrestling fans. Immediately put together very affordable travel and ticket packages for families. You go to a WWE regular event, family of four, you're spending $1,200 to $1,500. Go out and outright beat that. We're going to bring you out for a 3-day wrestling spectacular that is for us. This is our revolution. Get a StarCast together with the convention. How about on a Friday or Saturday for the sickos? Tony loves that, for the sickos. I know the Bucks would get on board with this. Run in a smaller venue for your diehard fans. Bring back BOLA, the Battle of Los Angeles, all leading up to Sunday, where all the wrestling world can look at the spectacle that is AEW Revolution. Again, our revolution. Go right at TKO. go on the attack on WWE, put together packages, make this a celebration for the fans of professional wrestling. And Tony, use some sway, use some pull to get some crossover as well. Let's bring in some Hollywood stars. Let's bring in some influencers, some professional athletes, things like that, and show that, yes, AEW can be everything that WWE is, but for everyone.
Okay, I'm with you, and I love how you touched on the, go right at TKO, because the first thing I'm thinking is you talked about that perfect storm. You've got Elimination Chamber in March. I'm fully bracing for the counter programming that exact same weekend.
Yep.
You're looking at, you are a month before WrestleMania in Vegas. Los Angeles, California. Samoa Joe is Californian, your TNA or your AEW champion. Are you pulling the trigger and having him drop the belt in his home state to create that shockwave? So I hope that this is a true success, but I have a very funny feeling that because you've got Riyadh season, you've got WrestleMania a month away, you're going to get those diehard fans that are going to want to do everything. But then you're going to get that casual fan that says, well, I can only do one or the other. Revolution's cheaper. Let's go to that. At the same time, and I've been, I can go to the spectacle of WrestleMania, and it's 2 nights. So we're looking at, a weekend, a 3-night event for AEW. But you do have, forget with WrestleMania, you have the access, you have Raw, you have the SmackDown, you have Stand and Deliver, all of that. So you're going to hit all of those things in that package as well for WrestleMania. And the fans might see a little more value.
Well, yeah, if you're willing to spend upwards of $30,000 to go there, am I going to drop $10,000 to go have brunch with Michelle McCool and her husband? Or can I go do something really cool at a StarCast all weekend where a company like AEW is showing that they appreciate the blue collar, the foundation, the fans that brought professional wrestling to the forefront?
Yeah.
I'm going to take the flip side on this. While it's cool that they're doing this in Los Angeles again, and LA lately has become a very hotbed for wrestling. The whole entire the state of California is a hotbed, and you can thank the Samoans for that, really. I'm not a fan of the fact that they're repeating the same arena that they went to earlier this year. That's just a personal gripe with me. When SummerSlam did it for 5 years in a row in Los Angeles, and then in Brooklyn for another 3 years, I kind of like that change of venue every year. And even with WrestleMania going back to Vegas this year, I'm not a fan of that either. But I do see where you guys are coming from, where AEW should come at WWE with these cheaper ticket prices. Dare I say, they should also look at going to some smaller markets too, and just trying to see if they can farm some fans from those markets as well.
Yeah, I can agree with all of that from all three of you. Everyone brought out some amazing points, and I think it's just gonna be a matter of time now before we see which point is the better point. Not that there is a better point, but right now the point is money.
Well, the kind of what Best is saying, though, it does make a little sense. Maybe the selection here, I don't know what kind of deal they have with the arena itself. Again, a beautiful, very up-to-date tech-savvy arena you can do a lot of cool things with. But, as we mentioned, Vegas is going to be hosting WrestleMania right down the street in a couple of weeks from this show. We talked about Elimination Chamber, which is going to be right around this. That's in Chicago, which is another hotbed that AEW couldn't go back to, I guess, for this to run into that. So maybe it is surprised they didn't choose maybe the Northeast. We're worried about if they would be able to draw up in, WWE traditional territory or something in the South. I mean, when you play those factors together, and that's all a part of those puzzles you guys have worked with, even in indie shows, when you sit there and look everything else that's going on, location, where can we draw from? What are we competing with? It's pretty cool to sit there and look at that puzzle, how these events come together.
It definitely is, and it's not just a spur of the moment on a whim type of thing. There's lots of debates, lots of planning, lots of just this critical thinking that's involved in all of these decisions that are made, and in all of the planning, and in where we're going and how we're going to go and how we're going to do things. And and as you bring in RBV, you're talking about, is it a possibility that they know they're not going to be able to draw in the WWE markets as well as they can draw down in LA.
OMD talking about waiting for that WWE counter programming. Now that you mentioned that, I'm waiting for them. WWE will announce a NXT TNA AAA event that same weekend, right on the other side of LA.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too. It's about every 2-3 months that we have a Saturday night's main event. So I feel like that. Yeah,
there is one late January that
That's
they have
in
announced already. Yeah, that's the
that's in
Montreal one. Yep. So I don't know if they would squeeze another one in between then and Mania, but what kind of counter programming? I could see them running that NXT TNA AAA doing a Worlds Collide on the other side of the town.
Yeah, I could absolutely see that. You do run the Elimination Chamber on the Saturday, run your Worlds Collide with the 3 on the Sunday. I could absolutely see it.
Oh, that's going to be the interesting thing to watch right there.
Yeah. We're going to have to keep our noses to the grindstone, our ears to the ground to see if we do get some of that counter programming. Healthy competition. That's what I'm calling this right now, because that's what I believe it is. No matter if it is whatever company, it doesn't matter. It is healthy competition, and I am all for that. And we talked about a little bit about money and how much pricing is for some of these shows. I can give you something that is not very expensive, but does help us out greatly here with Turnbuckle Studios. If you don't know, you know now. We have our own shop.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at carlcarafel.redbubble.com.
Or an even easier way for you is to go to turnbucklestudios.org and then click on shop. That's going to be the easiest way for you. It'll give you a graphic. It'll give you a picture of what you're looking for. Just click on that picture and it'll take you right to the store dedicated for that show, where you can pick up anything that you want that is available in that shop. Every purchase that you do make does give a little kickback to us, and those kickbacks always go back into the programming so that we can continue to bring you, using these platforms and these socials, all of these great programs. AEW Revolution, move that out of the screen, and we bring in probably one of the bigger topics that is out there in the world of professional wrestling right now. We have ourselves a mystery. And you guys are going, which mystery are we talking about right now? Well, we're talking about the mystery attacker from War Games. There's a lot of speculation on who this person could very well be. I have my own suspicions on who it could be. And I think we're going to kind of go through each one of us and give our own little suspicion. So let's start at the top here with you, Mr. Best.
I mean, my initial thought was, as we were doing the PLE Patrol OMD on Saturday, my initial thought was, oh my God, is Seth Rollins pulling the wool over our eyes again with this? Because the curb stomp looked exactly like the way Seth Rollins throws it. Mm-hmm. But then it clicked in my mind. I'm like, well, anybody can do that maneuver, really.
right? So who's your
And
suspicion?
yeah, and then I'm like, my brain went to Austin Theory, and it's been sticking with Austin Theory because he's due back anytime now. And
Very true.
I think he'd make for a great fit as far as being a member of the Vision and him coming back. I'm trying to figure out. There is another thought that I do have in mind, and because we're not even sure what his AEW deal is, but I also thought Jericho could very well be the guy.
Yeah,
Those
you
are the
stole
two
it
names
right
that I
from
keep
underneath
going
me.
back and forth on.
That's my thought as well.
Yeah. Those are the two names I keep going back and forth on, and I need to go back and watch it some more so I can see any nuances in the way this wrestler moved.
I mean, if you do take a look at the photo that we have on the screen here for you right now, if you're listening to us in the audio format, I apologize, but you can find clips and you can find pictures of it to be able to take a look at as well. We had a PLE patrol that happened this past weekend, and Mr. Chris Parrish was not on that PLE patrol. Yeah. Maybe. OM Dynamic, who you got?
Well, I mean, knowing that, Theory was rumored to be playing a big role in War Games, that was, again, my first thought.
Right.
But I got to wonder if it's maybe somebody who felt a little bit ostracized by Roman Reigns, Jimmy, and Jay. And I'm going to go Sami Zayn.
Ooh, what an interesting choice. And ostracized. That's a big word for you. Thank you for bringing that one out.
Because we know he has the history with Roman, Jimmy, and Jay. He was on the team last year with Punk as well, and Cody being the guy to replace him. So did he come in that surprise role to take them out?
Interesting. We need the Ella Jays and the Wheezy Blondes of the broadcasting world to take a look at this picture and tell us whose ass that is, because they'll know right away. We need the females to let us know. Parrish is going to ask Ella J. Nice. RBV, what are your thoughts on this mystery attacker?
Just real quick, I want to piggyback on what OMD's saying there. When you talk about Sami Zayn, you could add a little fuel to that fire with what we just saw on SmackDown, where Sami's been kind of left alone to deal with this other side of the bloodline. He's fighting them off kind of on his own. He was the last guy for his team had put down, and now all these other guys are, have left him behind, moved on, and they're in the big War Games match while he's in a traditional. Just to mix it up a little bit. I think that would get a little more of a pop, a surprise. I think everyone's kind of the consensus. He fits the Vision, if you will. Austin Theory, is that going to be a dud? He was so a non-factor in everything he was doing before he just disappears. He was so cooled off. At one point, the guy looks like $1 million, talks like $1 million, moves like $1 million. You'd think he had all that, but almost had that stank on him by being like one of Vince's chosen guys there. Hey, whoever it was under the suit, and that's one of the beautiful things with this. We don't have to go with who it was. You guys remember like the Black Scorpion and all that. Hey, whoever that was, hey, they were a spry moving SOB. They were moving like a mongoose. So what I would really love, because they shot right up that cage, both in and out. The blink of an eye. That whoever it was could seriously move. I would like to see more of that. It was like more of that. What are that CrossFit stuff that we used to see from like Johnny Impact and all that. And
yep.
It was the black guy that they had for a while. They did a thing with from Elegance. They had he would do all the flips and stuff like that. Give me people that can do that and then reveal it to be Jericho, the guy that we know is not moving like that whatsoever. And then have Chris like show all the videos. Like, I told you, this is what it looks like to be 50 and in shape like this, and you can see how I can move. That would pop me the most with it. Just having a little fun with it.
See, I think for me, the big detractor for Theory was he fit the mold with Seth Rollins there because of their previous history when it was Theory, Rollins, and Buddy Murphy.
Okay.
So without Seth there, I don't think Theory really truly fits the mold of this scenario anymore for the Vision. And I still need some fallout from the Theory Waller tanking of that tag team.
That's another thing. So you're just going to move on at this and sticking with this whole Vision concept is the whole Survivor Series, the build, the match, this payoff has been so lackluster for me. The Vision itself, you know, it was Braun Breaker that seemingly went into business for himself and gave them the ultimatum. You're either with me or against me here. And then they just cool him off. And then out of nowhere, we get, oh, he's going to get this match in January against CM Punk. And I get, he was the one that got the win in the War Games over Punk. But it came at the hand of this assailant. And they're blaming Heyman, who's swearing he has no idea who it is. But would you hold that? Like, if we need to find out who this is before we reward any of your guys with an opportunity like that. So it's so flawed and there's so many holes. It's like Swiss cheese in this creative with it, which is hard to get excited for.
What about another intriguing name? Because we now found out that Logan Paul was officially a member of the Vision last night on Raw. What about Jake Paul?
Did
That
you
would be
seriously
pretty cool.
go there?
Hey, you want to talk? You talk about one of the biggest influencers, social media products, hype guys in the world outside of Logan Paul. It's Jake Paul.
I think
another
it's too
Paul.
risky for Jake Paul. Jake Paul's got a boxing match coming up within like a month. So I think it's too risky right now to even consider putting Jake Paul in a WWE ring.
Well, if the boxing match isn't for a month, you really don't have to do anything with him till after that. It doesn't necessarily need to be him right now. This could be the reveal. That's a great idea. If I'm them, and especially being a media guy, marketing guy, I'm having that conversation all day long.
And I definitely have been on that same train with this thing. Seeing how this person moved, you can make your speculations, right? And you can have this person continue underneath the mask. If they're going to continue to come out and interfere, you have them come out, this specific person doing this. We don't need to know who that specific person is. We only need to know who the reveal is. And I have been on that same train of Chris Jericho being the one to be revealed. The other name that's kind of crossed my mind with this has been Jon Moxley, or Dean Ambrose, as we know him in the WWE. Because I love that dynamic of, and it didn't move like Mox at all. Like at all. Jon Moxley has this very distinct move and walk to him. This was not that at all. But to have somebody like that revealed to be that person would totally blow everybody's mind, and they would be dumbfounded, and it would be a legitimate shock and surprise for most people. Parrish is saying the mystery man also didn't gig, so it can't be Mox.
There were no sporks falling out of his pockets.
Yeah. And I'm going to go out on a branch here and say that for the Punk title defense against Braun Breaker, I'm making a bold prediction here and saying Punk loses the title because we're going to see this masked man again interfere in that matchup.
I think that's where we get the reveal.
I'm okay with that, but I'm not okay with that. I think that might be a little too soon for me.
Yeah, I don't know if I make the switch, but I think without the switch, still having the big shock and all that they'd like to go home with is hit the producer credits and he takes the mask off. We'll get a reveal there and somehow kind of move forward with it.
I would like to see, because we didn't see it last night, but maybe have this mystery guy coming out with the Vision still in gear, hidden. You don't get the reveal until that night after Braun Breaker wins, he's celebrating, and you're going right off the air. But you've got to have him on TV as that mystery opponent.
Oh, I'm with you. I was a little disappointed, not even a little, very disappointed that we didn't even get more follow-up yesterday on it. You know, it was just in passing where they were just yelling at Heyman about he knows who it is and he's swearing that he doesn't. And that's it. This is the biggest story that you close out Survivor Series, one of your major 4 pay-per-views, PLE events, and you only mention it in passing. That's again the problem with the lack of follow-up to keep you interested and get invested in this thing.
I think we're doing much better of a job of getting people interested and really thinking about this entire storyline. Even Parrish right now, imagine the mystery man costs Braun Breaker the match instead of helping him.
Maybe
So
it was
we've
his
still
dad,
got Punk
Rick.
with that championship, but now it's like, oh shoot, like, whoa, who is this guy? What side is he actually on?
It's Colt Cabana.
It's Jack Perry.
There, oh, I love it.
I was gonna
Look,
say,
if it's Colt,
yeah.
after all these years, after the pipe bomb, after everything that's been said and done with Punk and yeah, that would be great. Oh, wow. As you can see, we like to have a lot of fun here on these programs. If you yourself are into broadcasting, if you are into writing, if you are into creating, just as we are with this program in Turnbuckle Studios, well, come aboard. Let's help each other grow and be as successful as we possibly can be. Here's how.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video skims, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
And the easiest way for you to do so, turnbucklestudios.org, and then click on join. It's going to give you a little brief write-up, and then you can click on the submit down at the bottom of the page, or you can click the click here to join now link. Fill out the couple of little questions that are there. It's going to get emailed to us. We will be able to take a look at that, get back to you, and see what we can do to help you and all of us here and continue to grow into a monumental platform. Scott, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you. I would absolutely lose my mind if it were Killer Cross. We can't use, Killer on WWE programming, Karrion Kross. I have always been a fan of Karrion. I've always been a fan of Killer Kross. Yes, I am all for that.
I am too. I would love to see this.
Wow. See what I mean? We're giving more to this than the WWE even is. And because of that, we're even getting people like Scott and Parrish coming in here, giving their predictions, given who they think it would be, and names that would 1,000% work for this as well. Just amazing. Amazing. How are we not part of the writing team? The WWE
Dude,
right now.
I've tried to apply for the writing team for the WWE. Never gotten a message back.
Parrish does it, so he thinks it's so the people don't think it's him. Okay. Yeah. No. I mum's the word, man. Mum's the word. I get it. We do have a showstopper segment here for you that has stopped the show for at least one man and has saddened him a little bit. Although he does not want to press charges, he just wants his coveted prize back. Over this past weekend, Wrestlecade happened, and Wrestlecade is an absolute amazing time and place to be if you are a fan of professional wrestling. where you can meet the stars, you can talk with them, you can see shows, you can just interact and have such a wonderful time. Well, somebody made it not so wonderful for Jimmy, the mouth of the South, Hart, as his megaphone was stolen. We've continued throughout the weekend and even into today to try to find as much information as we can for this. And unfortunately, as of right now, I have not had any other updates except that the microphone was stolen and that if not returned today or messaged to have it returned by today, that police involvement would ensue. I want to start at the top here with you, Mr. Best. How do you feel about this, and what do you think is going to be the outcome?
I say throw the book at this dude, whoever it is. I'm sorry, but you stole a piece of wrestling history. To me, Jimmy Hart's one of the greatest managers ever. So I'm gonna that megaphone has been a part of some of the biggest moments in pro wrestling history. Jimmy Hart using the megaphone and the helmet to help the Nasty Boys win the tag team titles at WrestleMania 7. Jimmy just cutting promos on the megaphone mid-match were just the stuff of legends. So for someone to just come in and take that piece of history from a man the stature of Jimmy Hart, I'm just not going to say the words I usually say on that one, but yeah.
I do want to just put out there that Wrestlecade actually took to their socials and put out a post, and this is directly from them, saying someone stole Jimmy Hart's megaphone at the convention yesterday. The venue has HD cameras and police will review the footage tomorrow. Jimmy isn't looking to press charges. He just wants it back. If you took it, DM us 12/2, December 2nd. The police investigation moves forward. That is today, December 2nd. And unfortunately, we have not found out if it has moved forward or not. But OM Dynamic, give me your thoughts on this.
This is probably one of those guys that is standing around in the airports trying to touch the wrestlers, get in their faces, and get a million autographs, that wants a piece of wrestling history and nostalgia to try and make a quick buck on it.
Possibly.
Just return the thing, please. Save yourself the heartache, so to speak. Just return it, please.
RBV.
I think this has got to be a rib, right? I mean, I know there's a lot of kleptomaniacs out there that are grab whatever, see what they can get away with. This has got to be one of the boys or the girls just working poor old Jimmy here. But again, I would think that driving around wherever, maybe he's just got an entire suitcase full of these things that he's taken with him throughout the years. So I started looking into this. I was trying to find it maybe at one of the beach shops, the Hogan's places. Is there a display like like the most memorable megaphones that we've seen, the historic moments throughout professional wrestling history? This doesn't make you just long when you think about this, just not long for the days of the manager, but we had that great run where all the managers had a gimmick with them. And one of the most iconic is certainly the megaphone of the mouth of the South, Mr. Jimmy Hart. I mean, it just is ingrained in our memories of everything, the years that we came up with, just absolutely loving professional wrestling. Now, let's get to that footage. Let's talk about maybe who are the culprits? Who are we calling in for questioning? We're at WrestleCon, right?
Wrestlecade,
Wrestlecade, great convention. Second best wrestling convention in the world, right behind the Squared Circle Expo, run by my good friend Ed Gonzalez and his crew out of Indianapolis there. Want to put them over there. Squared Circle Expo coming up right around WrestleMania season. Check them out in Indianapolis. But we got all these legends and things like that. So let's check that guest list. Was the Repo Man there? I'm going to be calling him in for questioning. See where he is at there. Hey, we know that Liger was willing to take a payday for a match. We know that was him under the mask. Maybe there was somebody else that was there just looking to pull the heist of the century here. Or we could look at Liger's opponent here, that low life sleazeball Janela. I'll be checking the trunk of his car too to see if he's out there trying to hawk that thing in the parking lot for a couple bucks to some wrestling collectors there. But yeah, the wrestling heist of the century was just some kind of like Ocean's 11 wrestling version that we've got here. But hopefully, maybe Jimmy did it himself for the insurance money.
That's where my thoughts were going. That's where my thoughts were going for sure. You inquired about, is there a collection of microphones that is just displayed somewhere? I could tell you that at the beach shop in Orlando, there is not. I've been there.
That would be
There
cool.
is
I mean,
not.
a cool draw.
Right? It doesn't mean that the one on Venice Beach, their one in California, and they just opened up another one.
I think in Nashville or somewhere around there, Tennessee.
Somewhere around there, yeah. So there could be at either one of those two, but I know for sure that Orlando, I've been there a couple of times, and there is no wall of Megaphone. I think that would be fantastic, though.
Right? Hey,
Right?
WWE, get off your butts. If you ever give a physical Hall of Fame or like the traveling displays that you take to these things, that would be a heck of an idea.
As long as they don't set them up, like they got to set them up high, right?
Yeah,
Because if they're like
end
to end here, we're going to get like a Bart Simpson type of situation. And,
people walking off with them. We need to get like the chains at the bank. You know what they do with the pens, so you can't steal those.
Right.
Here's a question for you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
What superstar would you guess? I even tried to look this up. I couldn't find it. What superstar has eaten more megaphones to the head than anybody else?
Oh, goodness.
I was thinking maybe the Hulkster.
Maybe that makes the most sense, to be honest.
What about a guy who was formerly managed by Jimmy Hart, who just a couple of weeks ago did an interview where he really dumped on the wrestling industry in Brett?
That Brett stole it, or is he? Because he's famously ate that one to give the Nasty Boys the win, right? Or
that Brett stole it.
I can see that.
I honestly can't see Brett doing that. I know he's a grumpy old man these days, even grumpier than you can be, OMD, but I can't see him doing it, to be honest with you.
Well, no, Brett would borrow it just because he needs a louder vocal, platform so people to listen to the things that he's complaining about. So he was just borrowing it.
Yeah, borrowing it so that he can loud and proud to talk about how much of a bad person Bill Goldberg is. Parrish is saying that Jim Johnson did it to create the war of all wars. Maybe he did. At this point, this was just a fun topic for us to kind of have here to end off our show. And we're definitely be watching the news sources to find out if it has been returned. And if maybe this was just a rib that was happening from some of the boys and some of the girls on Jimmy Hart's, which I hope that it was. If not, I'd be interested to see what kind of consequences happen from these actions. Usually at the end of the show, I just give you the website to go to, and I'm going to do that real quick here for you. It's turnbucklestudios.org. If you're looking for myself, Mr. Best, or OM Dynamic, just click on the hosts section, and there you can find our pictures. You can click on each picture and it'll take you to that person's dedicated spot on the internet for them. It's super simple, super easy. Turnbucklestudios.org. And you can add /hosts and it'll take you directly to that page if you want as well. We are going to give this last few minutes here to RBV to allow him to plug what he needs to, what he wants to, what he has and what he has done, and where he will be in the new future.
I'll keep it short and sweet. We can sign off here. But gentlemen, again, I want to thank you for the time. Great conversation. Had a blast just talking some fun conversations with you guys. I know we get a little serious, a little over involved in this world of professional wrestling. It's always nice just to kick back with a new group of friends, some great fans, knowledgeable fans that got experience inside of the game and have these great conversations. But hey, you can keep up with me personally, that Art of the B to the V, Richard Bronson Vickrey, over on that X at RBV Media. Find me on Facebook, Richard Bronson Vickrey. But I'd really like for everybody right here on YouTube, search in for the Hameen, Hamin, Hameen Media Group. Find our page there. We've got 7 days of content as well, covering the world of professional wrestling. Great pros, great Joes, all with a professional background pertaining to professional wrestling. So some tremendous insight. YouTube, Hameen Media Group. Smash that subscribe. Ring that bell to get those alerts. Gentlemen, I thank you.
And we thank you for being here with us, for reaching out, for wanting to be part of the program here with us tonight. It is greatly appreciated. You know, I have nothing but love for you, brother. And I am so happy that we were able to, after all these years, finally come back together on screen and be able to have this time together. For myself.
I say anytime, guys. I mean, we'll set something up where we can do some crossover, bring some of you guys over with us, especially for the watch-alongs, things like that. It's just better when you get a whole group of people together to kind of create, especially for the watch-alongs, just create that kind of that party atmosphere. And just really, I always love them because it takes you back to when you had everybody come over for the pay-per-views, you know? Remember, everybody, hey, it's $5, everybody get in, bring your own food and drink. And you always had that, there's a couple of friends like, well, I'll get you next time on it. But you didn't mind on that shit because you're just having a good time. Kicking back, watch a little pro wrestling.
For myself, Carl Carafel, for Chris Best, for OM Dynamic, and for RBV. We thank you for being here with us tonight on this episode of Turnbuckle Talk. Remember, everyone, the world's a scary place. Take care of each other.
Flagship show setting the tone. In the world of wrestling we stand alone. With news and reviews we lead the way. Turnbuckle Talk every day. Turnbuckle Talk every day.